Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Steven here, the day after Manchester City's 3-1 victory over Copenhagen. We are, of course, in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which is very nice, very satisfying. We're back where City belong these days, and it feels good to be there, doesn't it, of course. Copenhagen, once again, another 3-1 victory. I did a little bit of maths earlier and worked out the City win like 25% of their games this season 3-1, which is absolutely crazy. But that's City these days. We can see goals, but we scored 3. Yeah, if you're watching live just right now, there may have been some technical issues at the start. Apologies. I had myself playing back and it was playing it through the system, blah, blah, blah. If you're not watching it live and it's been edited, you may be confused. Apologies about that, so ignore it. But don't forget, guys, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new here, or if you aren't new here and you haven't pressed the subscribe button yet. Do help support the channel. I want to quickly say, before I jump into this video is sponsored by Football Prices. Do you want to win a signed Kevin De Bruyne shirt? Imagine that. A Kevin De Bruyne shirt on your wall. I want it on my wall. I want it over there on my wall. I might enter, actually. All you got to do is head over to Football Prices. It costs £4.95 to enter. 299 tickets, and it ends on Wednesday, the 20th of March. You got 2 weeks to enter, and you can win a signed De Bruyne shirt. There's also some other things. There's 23 instant win prizes, including a Gundogan shirt there, Vardiel shirt. I think they are signed. Are they signed? Yeah, they are. Vardiel and Gundogan signed shirt. And a Ruben Dias signed and custom LED frame shirt is available for grab as well. Football Prizes is legit, and loads of Manchester City fans and esteemed company followers have won prizes over on Football Prizes, which is great stuff. If you want to win that, the link is in the description below. Good luck to all who enter. A signed Kevin De Bruyne shirt on your wall. Probably our greatest ever. Imagine that. Absolutely iconic. Fingers crossed one of you guys will win it. So this is, of course, 5 things that we learned. We're going to start, let me just double check everything's all right over there, with what I put sort of as the thumbnail title, but also how I feel about Manchester City. I put, we are Champions League royalty now. We actually are. It kind of struck me last night as I was watching City cruise through to yet another quarterfinal. And I mean that, by the way. We cruised through to another quarterfinal, 6-2 in aggregate. I never really felt any doubt, did it, that we were going to get through. I know it's because we're playing Copenhagen. But as Guardiola rightfully pointed out, in previous years, we've been out to Lyon, to Monaco, to Liverpool, to Spurs. It felt for a long time. And you go back to Mancini, where we couldn't even get out of the group stages. And then it was disappointing exits under Pellegrini too. Felt for a long time that we were struggling to adapt to this competition. Now Manchester City go into the Champions League like we are the kings of this competition. Right now, of course, we are the kings of the competition, but we really are truly Champions League royalty. We are constantly in the quarters or the semis, if not the final. We are very much in that last 8 always. We're very much expected to be there. And that, of course, is the quality of people like Rodri and Guardiola as the manager. It's, of course, down to their quality. But the point I'm making is eventually you sort of feel like you deserve to be there. It doesn't become nervy anymore. It's why teams like Real Madrid have dominated this competition, because they feel like it's theirs and they belong there. There's no surprise, and it sort of becomes part of the territory. And that's what City are getting. We can win it again, which is the title of this video. I think we can win it again. Do I expect us to? I don't expect us to. Do I think it's very likely? Yeah, I do. I really do. Because we are Champions League royalty. And it's nice to see that City have made this progression. You know, as Mo said in the chat, their manager said we're the best team in the competition because we work, to quote him, effing hard. We really do. And the quality, he said we're better than last season. He said we're even better than the first time we played him. Hello to Honomi, by the way, Wesley, YouTube Cinema, Tosa Lang, and Scott as well, my man Scott in the chat. What's up, everyone? Good to see you here indeed. But yeah, I am really impressed where City are now. And I think there's been a mentality switch. Of course, you could see it coming last season, hence why we won the Champions League, we won the treble. You could feel it coming. You really could. But it's been bubbling under since we got to the final against Chelsea for the first time. There is no fear anymore. There is nothing other than a sense of we deserve this, and a sense of not entitlement as such, but a sense of belonging and a sense of confidence in this competition that, to me, gets me really excited, because I think this City side now, they are that good. We are that team in the Champions League, and that, to me, is a scary thought. We're Champions League royalty now, guys, and I can feel it, and I can sense it. We got a reminder of Rico Lewis. I know it sounds weird to say that, but Rico Lewis hasn't really played much recently. And it felt a little bit sad watching this really talented young player just sort of sitting on the sidelines a tiny bit. But yesterday was a really nice reminder of what Rico can do. Rico is an incredibly smart footballer who simply does not have a bad game of football. And it made me sort of look into the stats as well, because Rico Lewis, I think he started 5 out of the 6 previous Champions League games or something like that. So Rico Lewis has played an awful lot of Champions League football, and Guardiola clearly obviously raised his ability in this competition. I think there's something about the way he plays, his style, his confidence on the ball, his game intelligence, that just genuinely suits this competition in general. And I'm really happy for him. I am, because I think Rico... he's had a quiet couple of months. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. I think we forget sometimes just how young he is. He's still only 19 years old. Kyle Walker, Akanji are on his side. You got Nunes, Kovacic, of course. Kevin De Bruyne is back now. Phil Foden, Bernardo. All these people can play in the middle as well, in midfield. So you've got his fullback role or his midfield role totally stacked. Stones, Rodri. So many people can play in the centre or right back. And I understand he's got to sit on the sidelines a little bit and learn. And I think that exposure to the first team and then stepping back isn't the worst thing in the world. He'll be fine with this. He'll understand this is just how things go, you know? It's one of those things where it's easy to kind of sort of forget just how good he is. Last night I thought he was really good. He had a really good performance. Not an incredible one, but a good, smart, intelligent performance. Used the ball really astutely, as he always does, you know. Absolutely relaxed on the ball, as he always is. But that's Rico Lewis for you, isn't it? It is tough for him to get game time. I understand that, and I sort of appreciate it. But I'm looking at his stats right now, you know. As always, he only misplaced 2 passes. I mean, look at this here, over there. It just shows how impressive Rico Lewis. 54 out of 56 passes completed, which is 96% out of 72 touches. It's just really, really impressive, you know. And that's the thing is, I'm just really, I think he's such a cracking player, and he suited that right-back role really well. A solid performance from a very good player. I don't think he's going to have that growth spurt, Aspie. I don't think he is. I think he's just a small guy naturally. But I do think we've got a cracking little player. And it was a really nice reminder that Rico Lewis does have ability. He is reliable, he is smart, and he is still there. His time will come. Look, I know it's just off the back of a goal, but it's also off the back of his few performances recently. Akanji's a gem, man. He really is. Like, for a long time, I was sort of defending him online. Not from everyone, but from a certain selection of the fan base who are incredibly impatient and don't see a guy's ability. Akanji is one of the biggest bargains in Manchester City's history. £14 million. He scored a goal last night that was absolutely worth talking about. That was just... It was Aguero against United years ago in the derby. It was Aguero from 10 years ago. A ridiculous, like, kind of hooked volley into the top corner. Kanji is absolutely on fire right now. Like, he's playing such a brilliant, versatile role for Manchester City, playing at centre back or right back or left back or in midfield. It's one of those things, but where it felt almost cruel to drop him for the Old Trafford. Sorry, not for the Old Trafford, for the United game, because his form has been absolutely excellent. Like, Kanji, honestly, right now, he's just balling. He's absolutely brilliant. I mean, you look at his general ratings and so on, and he's just had a really, really strong run. Wonderful against Brentford, wonderful against Bournemouth as well. Just absolutely brilliant. He was good against Luton, of course, you know. We conceded a couple of goals there. It was more chaotic, but Akanji's in cracking form. He sat on the bench for the United game, but he's just one of those things that I sort of appreciate, because Akanji, he's the kind of guy that you have to sort of just remember that where he came from, that people didn't really rate him that much. But Cheeky, once again, noticed a potential diamond there, an intelligent footballer that fit the right profile. That had a few injuries, by the way, at Dortmund. It doesn't really get him anymore, you know. Had a couple of minor ones, but largely absolutely excellent. And what a player. What a fantastic player. I just like to see good players and good people get the roses, and that's where we're at with Kanji now. A cracking player. Last night was really interesting. Now, we've seen Guardiola try quite a few players on the left. We've seen, obviously, Jack Grealish play out there. Oscar Bob has had a role out there as well. Phil Foden's played out there. Mateus Nunez has played out there. And, of course, Jeremy Doku, who wasn't available last night, which I didn't realise until today. I didn't even cotton on that Doku wasn't available. He's obviously out there. A lot of players, Sergio Gomez has had a tiny stint. A lot of players have played on the left under Guardiola. In the first 45 minutes yesterday, the man for the left was Alvarez, which was interesting. Alvarez did start on the left here, as you can see here by his heat map, you know. It was predominantly in that sort of inverted left role, which is very interesting. And you think Guardiola, to me, he's experimenting there, because I don't think he's comfortable without Grealish And Doku potentially not available because he wasn't available yesterday. So no Grealish, no Doku. He's thinking, do I play Oscar Bob? Probably not. I probably want Foden on the right. He's thinking, do I play Alvarez on the left? Because Alvarez on the pitch is going to work really hard. You know? He's diligent. He's effective. Look, a goal, an assist there. You can't deny, that Alvarez is a very useful player. He absolutely is. 4 key passes yesterday. 91% pass accuracy. Really good. Big chances created, 1. Just a really good performance from Alvarez yet again. A very underutilized player and a very underappreciated player, often from myself included, all of us. Sometimes we can get carried away by, the shiny new toy or whatever. But Alvarez, he's had a stint in midfield, but I do think Guardiola is absolutely trying something here. He went more central in the second half as he usually does, but Alvarez absolutely is, an option for the left. Do not be surprised if we see Bernardo central alongside Rodri behind De Bruyne, with Alvarez on the left and Foden on the right, and Haaland through the middle against Liverpool. I think at Anfield, he really will value that work rate. I don't know if it's a long-term solution, but it is something I would rather see than him through the middle and Foden shunting it out wide. I know Foden will be out wide anyway in this formation, but it's different. He's going to work hard. He's a threat with his crossing and his long-range shooting. It's interesting. Let me know in the comments what you make of that experiment. Will it work? Will he do it at Anfield? I think he might. Finally, Nunes and Kovacic bring something unique, don't he? Now, I'm not saying either of those are brilliant, but once again, it struck me last night watching that game just how much this Manchester City side have evolved and changed. Guardiola talked the other day about how he adapts the formation and the system, be it high pressing or transitions or whatever, to the players that he's got. And right now he feels like Manchester City are more of a transition side. These two are a big part of why that is the case, Nunes and Kovacic are excellent footballers in their own right, but they're very different Manchester City footballers. Kovacic feels a little bit more like a Manchester City player because his general ball retention and his shuttling about and his intelligence, it just sort of suits life at Manchester City. He's a smart player, and Kovacic is much better passing the ball than people gave him credit for. I was expecting a guy who can never make a final ball, but he's been better at that. Nunez is a little bit rawer. He's got that Kovacic drive, but he's definitely not got the cuteness to his game or, the final ball or whatever. But they do bring something very unique to this City side, which I enjoy. It is fun watching, a different style of play. It is refreshing to have such a different approach from Manchester City, because it's just nice, man. It's nice, and they're not perfect, but it is fun having people who can run with the ball and offer something a tiny bit different. It feels different. It is, it's interesting. They've got a little bit to develop, and if Nunez can get anywhere near, the end ball of KDB, he won't, because KDB is a freak that way, but anywhere near it, where you've got that physicality and that pace, it does offer something different. It is very hard to stop, and of course I miss Gundogan and whatever, but they are good players. Nunes and Kovacic are excellent players in their own right. They've got a long way to go, but it is interesting watching Guardiola be so pragmatic and try something different. I hope Nunes' fingers feel a little bit better today anyway. But guys, they are the 5 things that I took from this game. Once again, the Champions League royalty, we are these days. We can win it. We are there on merit where we are. Once again, the last 8, Manchester City are constantly there. As Guardiola says, we will be there. And yet again, we are, which feels really nice to say. Second is that we had that nice reminder of Rico Lewis's ability. Third, Kanji's a gem. The man is a gem, absolutely. Alvarez on the left. Seems like an audition there. And finally, of course, Nunes and Kovacic are unique. Just a quick 5 things learned there, guys. We're going to get my son to bed now, as always, at this time of day. Please do go and check out the signed Kevin De Bruyne shirt if you want to win that. And let me know in the comments the 5 things that you learned from this game. Of course, my match reaction is available from last night if you want to go and watch that in a bit more detail. But I looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to Sunday. As the start saying in the chat, why, mate? It sounds horrible. Sunday's going to be horrible. Absolutely horrible. I am on Saturday Social on Sky on Saturday morning with an Arsenal Liverpool fan. That'll be fun, isn't it? Ugh. Disgusting. I have to have a shower after that. But that should be fun as well. Tomorrow, of course, there'll be a preview and all that kind of stuff. For now, though, Blues, love you loads. In a bit, bye-bye. Come on, City.